What is up, guys? Welcome back to some more Dragon Ball's Dokkan Battle videos. And if you're like me, you don't really care much at all for the World Tournament. The only thing I care about is getting medals to awaken LRT when he drops. Not sure how many medals I have on the ready, but I'm gonna grind just enough to get some of the medals from the local rewards, because once again, when LRTN drops the next up and coming World Tournaments, then I'll be able to awaken him right off the bat. So that's all I care about. I guess the mission rewards with the orbs and stones and Elokais and everything, I guess that's nice, but I mean, for everything I got to sit there and grind versus what I get, I mean, it's not really worth it to me. But anyway, so I know people are out there who still grind the World Tournament, who are still very interested in playing the that mode, and who are still very active in trying to get, you know, top 10,000, top 1,000. If you are that kind of person, then shout out to you, because I can't do it. But if that's you, then maybe this video will help you out. So we're going to be talking about the top 3 best World Tournament teams to currently take on Global. Now, I might be missing 1 or 2 units. Sorry about that, guys. But if you have the unit, then you can sub them in for other units and everything. So I think the best World Tournament team right now you can probably bring is going to be, I want to say Extreme. The Extreme team. The new Extreme team with the new Rose lead. This team does give you a 120% lead ability buff from Rose if you do meet the requirements of having each character of each typing. Now, obviously, we're going to have LR Broly being the unit who nukes the entire field. And he's going to be on a bigger leader ability buff than previously. Well, I guess, no, not previously, because we have the Extreme Janemba leader. So he does provide the 120% lead ability buff. But the thing about this team is that you have better key synergy, you have better tanks. So if I had Demon King Piccolo, then Rose probably won't make it on the team, because Demon King Piccolo, the Tech 1 that is, provides 3 key and 25% attack up to all extreme enemies, all extreme allies, I believe. But his team is just full of key support. My Rose isn't awakened, I know, guys, but I'll get to that. I need, like, you know, three or four more runs, so I'll get to that. Don't worry about that. But you have STR Rose providing 3 key as a passive, plus the 50% additional defense to all allies that's extreme typings. Yeah, base Goku Black on Global, he provides 3 key for extreme allies as well. You have the Intelligence Cooler, well, Intelligence Meta Cooler, providing 2 key as well through for extreme, and I keep saying enemies, for extreme allies. If I had the Demon King Piccolo, I would exchange him, I would swap him in for the LR Goku Black. That's another 3 key. Like, you want to support Broly as much as possible, because lead ability will only give you 3 key. You don't benefit from the friendly ability that you bring, so you have to make sure that your team is very heavy in support. So obviously, bring a friend LR Broly. You have 2 LR Brolys. That way you can get them on rotation, you know, more frequently, just having 1. And Golden Frieza here for a bit of tanking, because you might run in situations to where you have like 3 enemies attacking in the first slot there, or the first section. So you do want to make sure you tank those attacks, because if one of those are super attacks, if you're on 20-time difficulty, then you'll mostly get one-shotted and you'll die and lose your win streak. So it's good to bring a tank and then fill the team with key support. So another option would be Resurrected Warriors. Now with this team here, once again, I am missing Demon King Piccolo. I believe he fits in his team. I believe he's considered Resurrected Warriors. He should be, right? So I would most likely swap him in for perhaps Golden Frieza. Well, maybe Majin Vegeta, honestly. Majin Vegeta really doesn't fit too well in World Tournament, because he needs his 18 key super attack to AoE, and it's quite difficult to get that. Like, you need to add orb changers, and you need to bring items, and you need to be popping them. Honestly, like, the item thing isn't too big of a deal, because outside of World Tournament, we never use the orb changing items. Like, I never do, actually. You know, unless I'm doing like a nuke video, which is, you know, every now and then I'll do a nuke video. So I really don't use the items. So I mean, I guess it's not a big deal to use them in the World Tournament, but you know, it's quite a hassle to set them up and, you know, everything. So you just want to go through the attack and everything. LR Broly is the way to go. So we have Super Saiyan Bardock Physical for the key support. We have the Meta Cooler again with the key support. If I had Demon King Piccolo, I believe he fits in the category. I think he does. Yeah, 100%. I will swap him in for LR Majin Vegeta. Keep Golden Frieza for the additional damage mitigation. He does debuff by 70% HP, 50% or above. He can kind of hit pretty decently as well. Mine's Rainbow Star, obviously, so he'll hit quite appropriately. If you don't have Demon King Piccolo like myself, then maybe Majin Vegeta, because if you do happen to get the ATK super attack off at all, then that'll definitely be additional damage you can output, and that'll help you beat the tournament faster. So this is team number 2. Now, if I had Demon King Piccolo, this team might honestly be number 1 for me in terms of running, because you get such a bigger HP, attack, and defense buff on this team. I think it actually might work out a bit better, honestly, but I don't have Demon King Piccolo, so it might be a bit difficult for me to super Broly. I don't have STR rules here, so I don't have base Goku Black, so I don't have that consistent 3-key passive key support that I had on the Extreme team. So yeah, this team will give you a bigger lead ability buff, but if you don't have units to support Broly, or if running LR Vegeta, if you don't have units to support that unit as well, then consistent super attacks off to finish off the opponent might be a bit difficult, perhaps. But you know, I mean, either way is going to work out perfectly, because, you know, we have Bardock here, you know, we have Cooler, and, you know, you could just bring an orb changing item, or you could bring the Tree of Might item to buff Broly a little bit to give him some give him the 3-key, so he can actually get super attacks off if that is an issue for you. The last team I recommend is going to be Extreme STR. Once again, Broly right now, LR is the MVP. If you do have the Easy A Broly, I believe you have a dupe in him, fully Extreme Z Awaken, then he can one-shot. Mine on JP has no dupes, and he can one-shot everything at 20 times difficulty. Actually, no, I think it's 30 times difficulty now, right? Do we have 30 times? I believe we do. He can one-shot the highest difficulty except for AGL typings. He needs a crit to one-shot AGL typing, so I'm sure if I had a dupe of the man on JP, then I would be able to one-shot through that type disadvantage, but I don't have that on global, so still rocking the LR Broly nonetheless. He is still better because he does launch 2 super attacks, which will output more damage overall, so you would definitely want to run the LR Broly over the Easy A in terms of being a better World Tournament unit. Now, once again, this is my third option of being one of the best teams. A lot of support here. We have Hit, you know, providing 3-key as a passive. Super Saiyan Rules, Goku Black, 3-key as a passive. Asher and Prepare for Battle with LR Broly. We have this 17 here who does change orbs, changing AGL to STR orbs. Actually, no, AGL to Rainbow. Sorry about that. That can actually create some pots for Broly. So if you do run into a situation where, you know, you don't have key support from passives on that turn, maybe the Under 17 can come through, change some orbs around, then get a super attack off that way. Janemba here, he does tank quite well. You know, mine being Rainbow Star, he tanks and dodge and everything. That's gonna be quite helpful. Omega Sherman here does debuff, so that's also very helpful to World Tournament if you're going up against the higher difficulty. A bit of debuffing is going to be quite helpful. Now, some subs, I would say, if you do want to sub some units, let's say you don't have the Android 17 here, you can actually run Raditz. He also change orbs as well. He changes... Actually, no, he doesn't. Oh, no, I'm thinking about Fasha. Fasha changes orbs. Okay, this is actually extreme. Let me go to this. I mean, you can run Fasha. She will get a lesser buff, but she does change orbs as well. So yeah, I was thinking about Fasha. Here we go. So Fasha into STR, that'd be quite helpful. Obviously, she's still gonna get 50% stat buffs from lead ability if you do run the Janemba lead, but still changing orbs for Broly, which is actually the point. So it's not really a big deal, honestly. Another units you can probably sub in, anyone that actually supports with Ki, Goten here providing Rainbow Orbs, that can actually be helpful for Broly if you do go that route. Another unit who can actually be quite helpful in terms of support, no one that I can see. I mean Kaba, because he actually, you're not going to get the 40% attack and defense, but you will get the 3-key, because the 3-key is for all STR units, okay? As you can see, STR types 3-key, and it's only Super STR gets the buff. The buff isn't too important, it's more so the key support. So if you don't have certain units, then you can always find subs that's going to help you out again the key, which is you know, the most important thing, right? So saying this team, I mean, this team you can also run units like you know, if you don't have Frieza, maybe run LR Majin Vegeta. Like, you know, always try to sub units in that you don't have. If you don't have any of these units, like if you don't have anyone, like if you don't have Frieza, if you don't have the Janemba lead, if you don't have STR Rose, then honestly, I mean, okay, you can actually go back in the past and like do the OG like nuking stuff. Like what was it? Let me see. The OG team to nuke. Like what is it? Okay, so you had the blue Goku. Yeah, okay, yeah, the blue Goku. This really doesn't work. I mean, I guess it does work. Yeah, the blue Goku. Yeah, the Vegeta. You bring some tanks. So the OG team is actually still viable. Once again, just go ahead and bring some orbs, some items to change around the field, and this team is actually viable. You want to fill the team with tanks, because that's going to help you out quite well, because obviously you really need to make sure you're mitigating damage. if you're going to be going this route, because you know, if you're not mitigating damage, then you're going to take hella ton of damage and you're going to one-shot it. So another tank that I can bring, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much, but yeah, you want to fill the team with tanks, fill the team with units that can mitigate damage. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, that's what I'm looking for. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, here we go, guys. So this team here, very, very old OG team. If you don't have the LR Broly, if you don't have the EZA Broly, if you don't have Majin Vegeta, this team is very, very back in the past, but it still actually works. Once again, the lead ability here providing 33% attack up for tech units, based on every tech key we obtain. That's going to be this guy here. Going to nuke with him, change the entire field to tech, get the orbs with this guy here. He will still do the job quite nicely. So very old team, but fill team with tanks that can mitigate damage and get a super tackle with this guy consistently. So very, very old school way of doing things, but I believe it's still somewhat viable. Honestly, you still have like little to no health, very, very low attack. Honestly, the attack portion is too big of a deal, but the health is massive. You don't really have much health at all. So bring ghost ushers if you can, and just chain the field around everything. So very quick video to help you guys out if you are looking for the best tournament teams. This team really isn't good, but if you don't have the units, then you can actually use this team. Just be very, very cautious on what you do. You would have to stick around the 20-time difficulty. You may not be able to go higher than that. But anyways, guys, so very, very quick video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, share, comment down below. If you don't subscribe, make it a thing. Sub to the boy, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.